everyone.
Happy New Year.
I'm Lynn Gibney, AccuQuilt's Chief Marketing Officer, and I want to welcome all of you to our event today. I'm joined by our hosts, Pam and Erica.
Hello,
ladies,
hello,
and Happy New Year.
We're so excited to be
Cheers.
here.
All right, and how were your holidays?
They were pretty good, pretty
Very
low-key,
nice.
right?
Yes,
All right.
Yes, but exciting.
Yeah, so it's still been a crazy holiday season.
it has been.
It has. And what a crazy year, right? So I am so excited it is officially 2021 because I love starting something new.
We actually know that about you.
Oh, you do,
We
indeed.
did a show not long ago where we talked about UFOs, unfinished objects, and we've heard there are a few in your sewing room.
Just a few. Now look, we took a poll on AccuQuilt Live a few months ago, and I'm not the only quilter with a stack of good ideas waiting to be finished.
That's so true.
You're definitely right, Pam. I think it's a quilter's habit to collect fabric, projects, all things sewing. That means more things to cause clutter, and after a year of collecting, we all need a little more organization.
We do, absolutely.
And that is exactly why we created today's show. We are going to help you create order and find a place for all those new goodies that you received over the holiday season.
And all with new patterns.
Oh, I'm so excited about the new patterns. They're great.
Today's trunk show will include some new, never-before-seen patterns that you can download today.
I'm excited.
And you're going to want to, because some of these projects are really going to help you spark some joy in your sewing room.
And that's not all. It wouldn't be an AccuQuilt live stream event if we also didn't bring some great prizes and some special offers.
All right, well, I'm going to head out and leave the show to you.
Thank you.
All right.
I can't wait to see the organization tips from everyone. I've got to take notes for my own sewing space.
All right.
Have a great
Cheers.
show.
Thanks.
See you soon.
All right. All right. Happy New Year, folks.
Yes.
Quilters, some of the best sewing and storing tips I've ever received are from fellow quilters, right?
Absolutely.
We know those. Now, if you catch any of our AccuQuilt Lives, you know that I learned from one of our viewers that if you put your little shovel iron into a mason jar, it keeps it from falling around and that way you
burning
can just,
things.
And burning things like machines and fingers. And it was genius. I'd never thought of it before.
Absolutely true. You know, speaking of pressing, a quilter who taught me a lot over the years told me to keep my pressing supplies close to my sewing table.
Yes.
So to have a small iron with a small pressing mat, a little spray bottle to save time when you're sewing.
That's brilliant.
That's why we asked some of our experts to share their organization hacks with us today.
Oh, I'm so excited. All right, quilters, today we have Marianne and Shannon who are joining us to show us how they keep their own sewing spaces manageable.
Now, if you haven't met our experts before, this is Shannon. Shannon has been quilting for the past 25 years and enjoys bringing her manufacturing experience into her quilting.
Oh, I love Shannon. She's terrific.
She is.
And now we have Marianne. Marianne got her passion for quilting when she was just 8 years old.
Amazing.
She's been quilting for quite some time.
Okay, so our experts will show us how they organize their fabric, their AccuQuilt dies, and their notions.
Yes.
But we want to hear from you. So today's question is, what area of your sewing space needs help the most?
Oh, that's such a great question.
Is it your fabric stash?
Yes.
Yes. Is it your dies and mats?
Yes.
Yes. Is it your notions?
Yes, all of the above.
Yes.
All right, so we'll have the poll open throughout the show so you can answer. Then we'll share the results before we sign off. So if you're watching from your registration link, the poll will be to the bottom of this video in the comments section.
Right.
If you're watching from Facebook or YouTube, welcome, we're glad you're here. Just tell us your vote in the comments section, and Christina and Leslie will make sure we get those comments.
Yes, they will. Absolutely.
Now, before we move on, let's talk about our special offer. Erica and I are here. We always give an offer.
Always.
All right? Today, only until 12 midnight Central Time or until supplies last, we are holding our winter stock up sale. Where today only, are you listening? This is such a great deal.
Yes.
For every go die, every cutting mat, every storage component or accessories, so things like our rotary cutters, our cutting mats, our rulers. If you buy one, you can get the second for 70% off. 70. Use the code BOGO70 to get free shipping for those of you in the contiguous U.S. Some exclusions apply, so check out our website. That is such a great deal.
It is. It's an incredible way to get your hand on some of these storage solutions to help you clean up your sewing space.
Yes.
Or you could just add some more dies and mats and notions to your collection.
You could indeed. All of those things. All right, whatever your sewing room needs, this sale can help.
Yeah.
To get your order in now during the show, you can use your phone's camera to capture the QR image right here, and it'll take you right to the website. But if you don't have access to a QR reader, no worries. You'll just want to open a new tab in your browser. So go to the top of the page, click on the plus sign, type in AccuQuilt.com/party. Eric and I were here. We have hats and everything for the party. All right, and then you can see the bundles and order and place your orders.
That's right.
Okay. Now, quilters, AccuQuilt offers financing options through Bread as low as 0% annual percentage rate. For more information on financing through AccuQuilt, visit AccuQuilt.com/financing.
Absolutely. Okay, well, let's just dive in, Pam.
Let's do it.
Shall we? Okay. So if there's any part of our sewing space that tends to overwhelm all quilters, it's our fabric stash.
It really is. We love it. We love to add to it.
We do.
We love to pet it and talk to it.
Yeah, yeah.
And sometimes we even sort of look at it.
Yeah, we do.
But it definitely takes over.
Yes, and the worst part is that some of us, not naming names,
Yes,
may not even know everything that we have.
I agree.
I hate to think about all that beautiful fabric left forgotten. So let's talk fabric storage.
Let's do. All right, Shannon, will you show us how you organize your fabric?
Thank you, ladies. So my next tip regarding fabric organization involves what you're seeing behind me here, which is a design wall. So I went to a home improvement store and bought 3 panels of pink insulation. So those are hard foam boards. And then I came home and wrapped those with felt and used T-pins on the back to pull that taunt. And then those were attached to one another and hung on my wall. So as you can see here, I can easily turn around, come back up to my sewing machine, back to the wall. And so as I have things staged with my sashings and blocks, it's not one of those situations where I'm stacking them up and hoping I don't mess up the arrangement as I'm sewing them together. I can pull them off the wall and go right to my sewing machine. The other benefit of having this board is that I can step away and see if my blocks are playing well with one another. So I'm auditioning their location in the size of the top, if it's not a king size, and then I can move blocks around so that I like the flow of the blocks themselves. Now I had room for this big wall of foam board. If you don't, you can go get a smaller piece of foam board. And what you see behind me here is a little square. It's 2 foot by 2 foot. I wrapped it with batting, used the same technique with the T-pins, and I have it standing on an easel. I can move that around my area too, and that might be where I'm working on the 12-inch blocks using the AccuQuilt Cube. Moving those around, again, right next to my sewing machine so that I can pick up the pieces and sew them together and not worry about them being out of order. That leads me into fabric here, and one of the techniques that I use for storing fabric involves an 8.5 by 11 comic book board, and that's what they're known online. It's acid-free. I use it like the bolt. So it's the cardboard piece that fabric's wrapped around. So I go to my ironing board, press these out. I generally don't put less than a half yard on a board. But then once I've done that, I have all my fabrics here that look like a little fabric shop, all folded and ready for me to pick from. And then I keep those in my cart. And this here, another item that I really appreciate in my sewing room, is a mobile cart. In this case, it has 4 shelves. On the top, I keep the wire rack so I can stage more of my AccuQuilt dies, but also those bolts fit perfectly on top. And then inside here, as I'm sewing and I have scraps that I'm cutting off or pieces that aren't working for me, I can throw them into one of the shelves and later go back through and cut those with other dies to make pieces that I could put into a quilt top later on. Unfinished projects, it's just a really good storage area. It rolls out of the way, and I really enjoy my 4 shelf for storage of my fabrics. Thank you.
Oh, Shannon had some really great ideas.
She did love the little fabric bowls.
That's a great idea. And I love the cart. You have a rolling cart.
I do have a rolling cart. Actually, I have a couple of them. They're very helpful. I
Oh.
really like them. But the design wall.
The design wall is the
Oh,
best idea.
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right, Marianne, can you show us about your stash?
I wanted to share with you how I store my fabric. This is actually all my quilter's cotton, everything on these two bookcases, and it's the same style bookcases as I use for my dies. I really like the way it looks. I have them on either side of a long arm machine, which is in the middle of the room, and this sits on either side. But anyway, I sort all my quilter's cotton by major color. Below is the blacks and whites. I have more whites here, and then it goes to beiges, reds and oranges, yellows, pinks to greens, blues, and so on. And this is all quilter's cotton, and it's all on one side of my room. I'm going to then next show you what I keep on the other side near my dies, which is everything that isn't necessarily quilter's cotton. This is the other half of my fabric storage, and as you can see on the very left, you can see a few of those applique dies on the bottom shelf. That's where my die storage ends and my fabric begins, and that's on the left side of my long arm. Anyway, if you can see where that 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 number die is, that's my 3-inch number die. That's where I keep all my 108-inch backing. I have 2 shelves of it. The next set of shelves, I keep a lot of long yardages of batiks and unusual fabrics. Those actual 3 shelves right there are kind of funky different things. Some are linen, a lot are batik, some are just strange printed things that I've picked up along the way. I have a few antique kimonos and some silks. The next section I have fleeces, flannels, and I guess I have more batiks. I really like batiks, I don't know. And they are cotton, by the way, the batik, but I just store them here because I don't have enough room on the other side. And then the last bin is actually all my solid cottons, the last 2 top shelves, and then the bottom are some calicos, also cotton, but again, I had to sort them. I just didn't have enough room because I like to see everything. I like it out in the open. I like to be able to remember I have the fabric and the dyes, and sometimes they just speak to me and it gives me incentive to create. So that is my fabric storage.
Oh,
Wow.
Shelves are really a great idea.
Yes, and I love keeping them by color. I keep my fabric by color.
I do.
You do that?
I do as well. I sort it by
Great
color.
ideas.
Great
yeah.
ideas on your stash. All right, quilters, while we're doing our own organization around the studio, we found a few more really amazing things that we thought we could give to those of you who've registered for today's event. Because Eric and I, we love to give stuff away.
That's right. So today, 3 of you will be getting some die storage.
Right here's
Now,
our die storage
these
blocks.
blocks are incredible for protecting your dies. They also have easy to personalize labels, so you can easily keep track of what's inside.
Yep, so this one right here holds your 5x10 and 6x12 dies.
Right.
This one holds your 10x10 dies.
Yep.
And then this one holds your 6x6
I
dies.
have some of all of them.
I do as well. And so look how cool this is. You can pull it right out. Inside there are storage little envelopes,
You can
little
fill 'em out,
pockets, and then you
make your
can write
notes.
here and put notes on them if you want
Love
to.
it.
It's just amazing. And I love them because then they can just go right back together and they store just like our cubes do.
Yes, they do.
All right, so let's give some of these away.
Okay, so we should. So these winners are going to get a little bit better organization.
They are. I'm sorry, I'm having a good time over here putting this back
They're
together.
really much easier to operate
There,
than this.
ta-da, ta-da. Use your error there.
Okay, tell them who our winners are, Pam.
Okay, here's our winners. Our winners are Selena H., Charlotte H., and Diane S. Congratulations. You're going to love our organization cubes. I love them.
Right. So if you are one of our 3 lucky winners and you want to add some of these storage solutions to your sewing space, visit AccuQuilt.com or your local AccuQuilt retailer. Now to find your local AccuQuilt retailer, go to AccuQuilt.com and check the store locator at the top of the page.
It's super easy to find.
That's right. Now speaking of die storage, let's talk about why proper die storage is important to the
Yes.
dies and the health and the longevity of your dies and your cutting mats.
Yes.
So let's start with some do's and don'ts.
Okay, so first of all, you do need to stack your dies like books on a shelf.
Yes.
Okay, that's why our cube system and our storage containers are designed the way that they're designed.
That's
okay?
right. You do not want to stack them on top of each
No.
other because you can damage the blades. And of course, the poor die at the bottom of the pile, you know, he's
Yes.
getting pretty squished. So
Yes.
you always want to be sure to store your dies in a place that has fairly consistent temperature. You don't want to leave your dies, say, in a garage in the Midwest where we live,
Right.
where the temperature and the humidity fluctuate so much.
Right.
So another great tip is to keep them where they're easy to reach.
Right.
Don't put your favorite die where you have to climb over things to get to it, okay?
Right. That's why hexagons are in the front of this one.
That's right.
Okay, now some of those rules, excuse me, can make die storage a little more difficult.
Yes. So especially after the holidays where you maybe have added a few extra dies to your collection, right?
Oh, but it's okay, don't worry. We have Shannon and Marianne alongside of our few own tips here to help. Shannon, let's start with you.
Thank you, ladies. So how I store my AccuQuilt dies is in a closet. And what I managed to do was find a couple of bookshelves that were wide enough to fit, but also allowed me to have this gap that you see here in the middle that I'm utilizing to store my 24-inch dies. So I have them on their ends and then stacked 2 deep, and that's worked really well for me. I can also stand them up on the edge because the depth of my closet allows that as well. So in this closet, which I've deemed the AccuQuilt Go closet, I have the die storage boxes that you could find online. So every time I order a new die, I look to see, do I have storage in my closet? And if I don't, I add one of the die storage boxes to my order. Here you'll see that I have Post-it notes attached to the boxes, and that's because I haven't yet committed to where those dies live. For example, I would like to keep all my hexagons together, my circles, or even put the car, the pickup, and the camper together because those would probably go into a project together. So at the point that I decide that the dies are in the right boxes, I could go ahead and use the little piece here where you can write the dies, or I could use my label maker to put the names, or I've also seen some very crafty people take pictures of what the die shape is and attach those to the ends of the boxes. My goal here is to have a die landing in a box so that when I need it, I can go right to it. So also in this closet, you'll see that I have some projects that aren't finished, so they remind me that I need to finish them, but also I'm able to store the flyers that come with the dies. So when I need to look back for the paperwork that came with the die, I know it's right here in the closet. So this is my AccuQuilt closet.
Oh, we should all have an AccuQuilt closet.
Should.
Wow.
That is a brilliant idea because
Yeah.
then when you can shut it,
Right.
right? But I do love the idea that she uses like sticky notes until
Yes,
she's ready
yes.
to mark them for good. I think that's
Commitment
great.
issues. You want to be sure.
Yes,
you
you
don't
want to make sure you do that. All right, Marianne, how do you manage to keep your dies in order?
So my first tip for die storage is leave everything out. How can you be creative if you got to go find everything all the time? Anyway, I keep all my cubes on this ledge. It's actually a stairwell, and we built a little bumper in the back so nothing slides off, so I can't accidentally knock somebody over downstairs. I keep my larger cubes back here. My cutter is always open, and my mats are stored on the side in a vertical position, and all my open stock is across in a bookcase, which I'm going to show you now. Anyway, I like to use these adjustable bookcases because it allows me to take these shelves out and I can store all of my tall dies, in fact all my dies, on their end in a vertical position, which is the best way to store them. Never stack them or you could ruin the blades. Anyway, I like to stack them this way, and I've got the shelves removed in the bookcase, and I also like to store them by size and shape or function. I've mixed both my Studio and my Go dies together because if I don't, I end up with duplicates. Ask me how I know. Anyway, my strip dies go from narrowest to widest, and then I have geometrics, I have hexes, I have rectangles, I have squares. I then have my circular flower dies and my circles and my drunkard's path, because to me they're all circles, half circles, and whatnot. All my Bob dies, whether they're Studio or Go, and don't tell my husband I have so many Go dies, he doesn't know. So And then lastly, the motif dies, all the applique, if you will, in different shapes, I have stored over here. And yes, I do store them all in the original packaging. But I like, because I can see the pictures, I leave everything out, especially those that are on the top shelf, which haven't been put in the cases yet, because those are the ones I still have to make a project with. Anyway, that is how I store my dies. It's my organized chaos method. Everything is out. No one knows where everything is except me, and that's the way I like it.
Organized chaos.
Organized chaos. I feel like I resemble that.
Yes, very
Absolutely,
much so. Very
absolutely.
much so. And she's great because she stores those longer dies on their edge like that,
Yes.
which you do as well
Right,
as
I do too. Yes,
Okay.
I do too.
Now, we get this question a lot, Erica.
Yes.
Do we have to store our dies like this, or can we store them like this?
You know what? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
No, just as long as you don't stack them on top
That's
of each
right.
other.
Absolutely. So let's talk about some of our own tips, shall we?
Yes, let's do.
Okay, so one that I have that requires nothing more than a Sharpie, I like to write the die description on the top of the die.
Oh, yes, right here at the top.
Right there at the top, because I keep my long strip dies down on the bottom like she did.
Right.
In a rack, and that way I don't have to like lay on the floor to read the label
Oh,
on the
yeah.
side. I can just look down and see what die it is. It's great. I don't even want to tell you how long it took me to figure that out.
That's
So,
good idea.
the other tip is to use our free AccuQuilt phone app
Yes.
to keep track of the dies that you already own. And it's on your phone, so it's with you. So when you go to the store, whatever, if you see a pattern,
Right.
if you don't remember if you have a die, you're ready. Just open it up, take a look.
And that app is free. And one of the things I love about your Sharpie is that I write my name on the back.
Yes,
Just put Heller on
great
the back.
idea.
Because sometimes I take them to like quilting retreats or those
Sure,
kind of things.
sure.
And I've learned, because I went to a retreat once and there was Pam and Chicken Pam.
Oh.
So I write Heller on the back.
Okay, there you go.
Okay. AccuQuilt has designed another product in addition to our die storage boxes. These wire racks will sit on shelves and tables as well, in cabinets and in deep drawers. We use them here in our dream studio and even at our own home.
Yes.
I do. I use them all the time. And they're great because they hold 8 dies,
Yes.
right?
So if I'm working on cutting a project, I will take out the dies I'm using and line them up in the rack so that they're all really handy.
Yeah, that's what I do.
And today we're going to give them away to 2 lucky winners.
Look at you guys.
Yes. So our 2 lucky winners today for die storage racks are Ann H. and Nancy O.
Congratulations, Ann and Nancy.
Okay.
They're really going to use
They
this.
are. You will use these so much. So if you're not Ann or Nancy and you didn't win a rack,
Yes.
go ahead and make some your own by visiting AccuQuilt.com or going to your local AccuQuilt retailer. Now you can find your retailer closest to you by checking out the store locator at the top of the page at AccuQuilt.com.
Perfect. All right, now I'm hearing our winter stock up sale is a huge hit.
Yes.
All right, remember today only until 12 midnight Central Time. It's like noon 30 here, okay?
Right.
Midnight Central
Right.
Time, or until supplies are gone.
Right.
Every go die, cutting mat, storage, so our racks and our
Yep.
cubes and our boxes,
Yep.
or accessories, so like our mats and our rulers and our rotary cutters,
Right.
all of those. Buy one, get the second for 70% off.
Wow.
You're going to use the code BOGO70 and get free shipping for those of you in the contiguous U.S.
That's right. So be sure to get yours before we run out of what you need for your sewing space. Now remember, at midnight, sale prices are gone.
It is. Now, you could use that great code on our wire racks to get your order in now. During the show, you can use your phone's camera to capture the QR image right here and go right to the site. Or you can visit AccuQuilt.com/party because it's still a party. We have
Still
our
a
hats
party.
on.
Hats and everything.
Yep.
And AccuQuilt offers financing options for as low as 0%. You can see those details and answer questions at AccuQuilt.com/financing.
There you go. All right, now it takes so much stuff to sew, right?
Yes. Scissors, irons, pins,
Pins.
pin cushions,
There's a die for that.
rulers. There's so much.
Yes.
Which is exactly why nobody can blame a quilter for wanting their own room.
Yes.
And they certainly can't blame us for not having the cleanest space, whether it's big or small.
Oh, so much. That's so true.
So much
And
space.
it just comes with the territory,
Yes.
right? However, like we said, with a little strategy and planning, there can be organization. okay? It hasn't happened yet in my space, but it can.
It can be. So Shannon, how do you organize your notions?
Thank you, ladies. So for storing notions in my sewing room, I'm taking advantage of a feature of my sewing table, which was this uplifted flap here. So I not only am able to use it for an additional cutting surface or for using my cutters, I also have the under area for putting these slider drawers that I've gotten at a big box store. And in this case, I've got some folded fat quarters. In the one below it, I've got a series of patterns that I'm interested in trying to work on. And then in the next drawer down, I've got additional notions. Right next to me here, I've got my blades and my rotary cutter and my scissors. So everything from a notion standpoint that I can store in a drawered bin, I try to do that. And if I know where it is, I spend less time looking for things and more time sewing. Another little tip I have, I love the little wire storage racks that AccuQuilt has. And in this one, I've got some cutting mats staged. I've got some rulers, so I know those are easily accessible to me on my sewing area. And then one other thing that I really appreciate doing, and you're able to go and build yourself, I bought this tray, and on it, I've put the foamy stuff that prevents things from slipping. And then this is where I can stage the things that I'll need on my cutting table or at my sewing machine, and I can easily move them from place to place and find things. So I've also used this tray here while I'm cutting fabric on my cutters to stage the blocks out. So this is a multi-purpose, really doesn't cost very much to find. I've seen people use cookie sheets, but again, this little non-slip really helps. And another piece under it to keep it from turning is also a good tip for keeping your notions where you need them.
Okay.
Oh, we need trays, Pam.
We need trays. I'm stopping at the dollar store getting trays and the stuff
the
to hold
non-stick
it.
stuff. I'm
Yes.
always losing things when I sew. It's
Yes,
perfect.
it just rolls around all over my table. I love it.
That's right. Great idea. She is so organized.
She really is.
So Marianne, how do you organize your notions?
I like to store my notions by use and what I do with them. For example, let's talk about thread. I have all my embroidery thread, as you can see behind me, and I have it organized, of course, by color. Why wouldn't I? Now, I'm not really an embroiderer, but I like to use this thread for thread painting. I also like to store, I have cotton threads. Those are polyester or synthetic threads, and I do separate them by material as well. I keep all of my cottons in bins just like this, and they're sorted by color. I also like to sort, and all my variegated threads I put in one bin, and all of my solid cottons I put in Some of my sewing notions that are constantly used are kept to the left of my sewing machine. Of course, my AccuQuilt cutting mat. And then I do have a variety of cutters here and scissors that I use, my reference materials. And then I found this in an auto body shop. It's one of those magnetic things that you put on the dashboard to hold all your keys and stuff. Well, I put my pins in it, and I like it because when I'm sewing and I'm pulling pins out, I can just toss them in the general direction of that, and they attract and they go right there, and I don't have pins all over the counter. Another good tip, to the right of my sewing machine, I keep my most used essentials. My seam rippers, I think I have about 7 or 8 seam ripping things out because I'm not paying attention. Anyway, seam rippers, small scissors, whatever threads I happen to be using. I always have a black and a white in here. I have my bobbin threads here, and I have the needles that are in my sewing machine out. The pack is always out, so I know what needle I have in my sewing machine. I have oil. I keep all my feet in this neat little box, the machine feet, and I store them like this. Isn't this clever? And of course, they're in numerical sequence, 1 through 70, all of my needles. It's very organized. Last thing, which is really kind of cool, I keep these mason jars, and I like them. You ever buy those really large economy size cotton or polyester sewing threads or quilter's threads? Well, I do. They never fit on anything, so I just take bowl jars, put them behind, and then can thread it through the machine, and they'll feed just easily as can be.
Oh, she has a lot of notions.
She does have a lot of notions, but I like the idea of bobbins.
Yes.
Together.
And even more uses for those mason jars,
Yes.
right?
Yes. They're great.
great for that.
That's a great idea. All right, quilters, one of my favorite ways to keep quilting things organized is actually an idea that you gave me. I know. It's to keep all of my binding supplies together.
Yes.
Because when you go to bind a quilt, right, you're always looking for all the stuff and things. And so I have a little box, and it has thread and a needle, right?
Yes.
Because you need
Gotta
one of
have
those
a
if
needle.
you're doing hand stitching.
Probably more than one.
Yes.
Just to be safe.
And my binding is all rolled up and
Yep.
you know, ready to put on my machine and those kind of things. And more importantly, it has a bag of chocolate.
yes.
So I can just sit and watch TV and bind.
That's right.
I love it.
So I have a small fabric container next to my sewing machine. It actually was a gift from my quilting buddy because after she saw the disorganization of my sewing table, she
Yes.
felt I needed this. But I keep my most frequently used things there: a fabric marker, a seam
yeah.
guide, because you always need to check your
Yes.
seam allowance, and markers,
do.
rulers, all those little things, a seam ripper, because you know
Seam
we
rippers,
always
there we
need
go.
them anyway. Well, you get the idea.
Yes, yes, I love that.
So we've heard some amazing tips today
good
already.
ideas.
Have you answered our poll?
Yes.
Okay, what area of your sewing room needs the most help? Is it your fabric stash?
Yes.
Is it your dies and cutting mats?
Yes.
Or is it your notions? Yeah,
Yes.
probably. So
Remember, right now, if you're watching from our registration link, the poll will be in the right of this video at the bottom of the comments section. If you're watching from Facebook or YouTube, just tell us to vote in the comments section, and Christina and Leslie are checking those out, and we'll share the results before we sign up.
That's
so
right.
do you have an area that you think needs the most help?
you know, right now I worked on so many things the last few months. I really need to get my dies under control again.
Oh, yeah. I really need to get my fabric under control.
No, yeah.
I know.
That's next.
And I love the fact that Marianne keeps her thread by color. My
Yes.
thread all just in one big
All
place.
just in one place. And the
Yeah.
bobbins too.
Yep, there we go.
Great.
All right, don't forget to take advantage of our winter stock up sale. Okay, so listen, you need storage boxes
Yes.
for these extra dies, right? You need wire racks for
Yes.
those dies so that you can pull them out, right? Right now, every time you buy a Go die, a cutting mat, or an accessory, so things like rotary cutters and rulers and cutting
All
mats,
those things.
a die pick, right? How
Yes,
often?
Absolutely a die
Yep.
pick.
You can buy one, get the second for 70% off. 70% off. You're going to use the code BOGO70.
Yep.
For those of you living in the contiguous U.S., Eric and I, we're going to throw in free shipping.
That's right.
I love
So
that.
now be sure to get yours now before we run out, because we are hearing from the team that
Yes.
these are selling really quickly.
Yes.
So you want these for your sewing space. Get that order in now, those great storage boxes and the racks. And remember, at midnight, special price goes away.
Yeah, or until we sell out. So we've had shows before where we
Yes.
sold out of products, so make sure you get
And it
those.
looks like that could happen today.
It could. All right, you could use that BOGO 70 on these great wire racks.
Yes.
You could use them here on our storage containers, on our notions, okay? To get your order in right now during the show, you can use your phone's camera to capture the QR image, and it'll take you right to the site.
Yep.
Or you can visit AccuQuilt.com/party, because Eric and I, we're wearing hats.
We're having a party.
We are.
And AccuQuilt offers financing options for you as well, as low as 0%. You can check those details at AccuQuilt.com/financing.
Perfect. All right. While you're voting, let's give something else away.
Yes.
Okay, we have these incredible AccuQuilt rolling totes. So I'm going to come back here and show you about it.
Yes.
Okay? So this is amazing. I have one. Erica, do you have one?
I do.
I use it all
All
the
the
time
time.
when I was traveling. So the great thing about our tote is that it fits all of our cutters. So look at this. It's going to open it up right here, unzip
Love
it.
this.
Okay. And then inside, you can see,
Yep.
you can fit any of our cutters. So the Go Me,
Yes.
the Go Big. There's pockets in here for your dies. This unzips for
Another
your
pocket.
dies.
So important.
Now this big storage one, you could put your 16 by 24 mat
Yes,
in there.
yes.
But I actually put my longer strip dies and cutting
Oh,
mats in there.
great. Great idea.
It's on 4 wheels. It's
Yep.
going to roll. It's going to go all the
I
places
use
you want it to
all
go.
the time.
And when I'm not traveling, this is where I store my dies that I'm not using.
Oh, what a great tip,
Yeah,
Pam.
yeah.
Okay, so maybe you've cut all your pieces and you're going to have a sew-in.
One day we
One day
will.
we will go places
We
and sew with other
promise.
people again, right?
We promise.
So You can get all of those things in there, or maybe your project is already cut and you can get your small portable sewing machine inside along with all your pieces and your supplies for sewing.
That's really clever. So you could put like your featherweight in there.
My featherweight would absolutely fit, and I think I could fit like my cube in there too.
Yes. Oh, and
That'd
just
be
haul it
great.
around. I love it. Okay, and don't forget our rolling totes, they hold accessories as well,
Yes.
right? So the zipper pouches, you can put in dies, cutting mats, threads, seam rippers. I don't know, we have to have those all the time.
So useful, yeah.
Okay, and don't forget that 18 by 24 cutting mat.
Yes.
You can purchase that today on our website. It's part of the BOGO 70.
BOGO, that's right.
But I use that tote to hold, again, like I said, my seasonal dies.
Great
So now
idea.
that it's winter
Yeah.
and cold outside, like my summer dies, like
Except you're going to want to make summer projects pretty soon, and then you'll
In a
put your
minute.
Christmas dies in, right?
yes, yes,
Okay.
and my Halloween, unfortunately.
So we love them so much that we're going to give 2 of these away today.
In our Go Green.
Our winners today are Rose S. and Donna M.
Congratulations, Rose and
Yay.
Donna. That's
You
exciting.
are going to love these
You
so
are
much.
gonna love them.
So if you're not Rose or Donna and you want a
Yes.
rolling tote,
Yeah.
visit AccuQuilt.com or your local AccuQuilt retailer. Now remember, to find the retailer closest to you, go to the top of our website and check out the store locator.
There you go. All right, quilters. Now, at the beginning of the show, we said we'd have a trunk show
Yes.
filled with new patterns. Because sometimes, do you not get tired of old patterns?
You know, we always love fresh inspiration. I
do.
think that's part of being a quilter. We want fresh, new ideas,
I
right?
know. Yep. So we have a whole new trunk show filled with new patterns, and you can download them right now.
And you will want to download them
Yes.
because some of these things are going to help you keep organized in style.
Oh, they are. They're so pretty. Okay, so let's start with our nested
I'm gonna
cubes over
move
here.
my little
Oh, sorry,
sparkly.
here, I'm going to move this.
Okay, so here are our nested cubes. So these,
Those are
we've got
so
3
cool.
sizes. Wait,
Look.
it's like those little nesting dolls.
Yes, those little
Ta-da,
Russian
ta-da.
dolls. Look at how cute these are. Okay, and they're big enough they could hold like your fabric and your bolts
Oh,
and
so
your
many things.
So many things.
The little ones you could keep scraps in. You could
Yes.
keep it there for
Oh,
thread
yes.
or for your notions.
So your bigger scraps, like you're going to cut into half square triangles, my favorite shape. You
Yes.
could put them all in here. I love these. So these are called nested storage
Oh,
cubes.
I love them.
They're super cute, and they're in the colors you like.
They are. Okay, I'm going to get these out of the way. We're going to
Okay.
talk about this sewing machine cover. Now, this is something that is definitely on my
There you go.
personal to-do list for the year because I've never had one before.
Oh, listen,
And
yeah,
I think
that's
it's
great.
really important, and I love this one because it's got these great little pockets because
Yes.
I think I may have mentioned it, but I lose things when I sew.
I do as well. And not tomorrow, but next Wednesday.
Uh-huh.
This is on our AccuQuilt Live. That's the project we're going to make.
Perfect,
So I'm
I'm
going to
tuning
show
in.
you. Oh yeah, show you how to cut all the pieces,
Absolutely.
add the pocket. Super
Love
cute.
it.
I love that
Love
one
it.
as well. Okay, this is our portfolio. And Eric
is
and I
so
both
fun.
really like this because we are totally old school.
We are.
We write things
use
on paper. We do.
Mm-hmm.
So this can hold your notepad, and you can put your pens and other things in here. You could put patterns in here
Mm-hmm. could.
if you wanted to, and it allows you to just stay really organized.
And I always use paper when I'm figuring out if I'm taking a non-go pattern and
Right.
I'm translating it into dies, or if I'm trying to figure out how much batting and backing I need
Yes.
for a project. I'm a paper girl,
Yeah.
so I love this.
And look how cute this is.
It's
I love this
adorable.
fabric. It's darling.
It's adorable.
All right. All right, next, Erica made all these.
Okay, pin cushion time, because we talked about it. This one is so cute, and it's got a little pocket around it. And
It
look
does.
at that. Now, I've got little clippies
Little
clipped on
binding
here, little
clips.
binding clips here. And we've got pins, of course. So I love that. It's a great way to keep those little pieces, those little bits of things
Right.
from getting lost all over the place. And you know, I use these on binding, but you know what? Another great use for these is if you're making little zippy bags and
Yes.
you're working with vinyl, because you don't want to
Oh.
poke holes in your vinyl.
Right.
So
Oh, that's
they're
a great
great for
idea.
that.
And do you know, quilters, there's a die for that.
There
We have a
is.
sewing or a little pin
There's a
cushion die
great die for that
It's
if you
really
don't have
cute.
it yet. I love it.
and a fun tutorial.
Yes.
All right, so next is our sewing machine mat. So Erica
Ooh.
wants to make this one.
I do too. I need this. I need this one too. This and my sewing machine cover.
Let's
So
open
what's
it up.
cool about this is that it's going to sit on your table, and this is going to be under your sewing machine.
Mm-hmm.
So this will hang over and keep your scissors and everything
Look at
right
that.
handy. Because again, I lose things.
Yes. And this uses our 6-inch cube,
Love that.
and it's just so cute. And I love how they've quilted it. It's just beautiful.
And it's fun, cheerful
Yes.
fabric.
I love the
too.
fabric. It's nice and bright.
We want cute in our sewing room, right?
Yes, we do. There we go.
Absolutely. Okay, let's get this back out of the way.
Now, if you join me tomorrow at 12 noon Central Time,
Yes.
right here on our Facebook and YouTube channels, we're going to make strippy baskets.
Love
So
these.
look at how fun this is, Erica. So what I did was, I'm going to show you this really cool technique where I use jelly rolls and our die that
Oh.
has the multiples on it. So the
Oh,
1, 1.5, and 2
nice.
inch strips. And we're just going to cut fabric up and we're going to sew these together.
Oh,
They came together
they're
so
so
fast and
cute.
easy. And like our
And
nesting
they-
cubes, you can make them in different sizes.
And they look like they'd be hard to make.
And they're not so fast, so easy.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm really
Excellent.
excited.
I'm tuning in.
Okay. There we go. You can find all of our patterns at accuquilt.com/patterns.
Okay, so we've got a lot of quilty friends, and if you haven't heard of this group, they're called our Go-Getters.
They're so fun.
They are. We've got a great team of quilters who give us inspiration on social media, on our blog, and on their very own websites.
So we ask our go-getters to send us pictures of their sewing space to help
Yes.
us gather more ideas on organization.
Yes.
You'll notice, Erica, they did not ask us.
No, they did
That
not.
was wise.
Mhm,
Okay,
It was.
check it out. First up, we have combat quilter Andrew Lee. Andrew loves removable hooks for rulers and other hanging tools. His space is changing daily based on their needs and those removable hooks, meaning no filling holes in his wall. I think that's brilliant.
That is great. Next up is Denise Looney of For the Love of Geese. Love that name, by the way. Denise's favorite space is her custom work table made with 2 Singer sewing machine bases. Is that not amazing?
That's brilliant too.
It has an unstained oak top. Now, because she's got a small space, she builds up with lateral shelves and cabinets that can double as a workspace. Did you see her one cabinet? She's got her pressing station on top
Yes,
of it.
I think that's
How
so smart.
clever.
And that beautiful window.
Yes.
Now, Kimberly Bennefield of NW Pepper, I was able to speak to her a few months back, and her space is absolutely beautiful. She and her quilty friends call it her sewing annex.
I
Wait
love
till
that.
you see all the space. It doubles as her design studio for her day job as a product designer, as well as her sewing space. So she can take a few moments in her day to stitch and press. So look at her fabric. I know we
Look
just
at
need to go
that.
hang with Kimberly.
Oh, we do. And if that wasn't fun enough, let's look at Lori Miller from Lori Miller Designs. Now, this is her creative
So
sanctuary.
great.
She loves to arrange her stash by color. She's got her buttons, her fabrics, and her threads all arranged in rainbow order. It's pleasing to the eye, and it's easy to find what she needs. Now, her sewing machine sits in her favorite spot, which would be mine too, I think.
Yes, I think so.
It is a window that overlooks her relaxing backyard. I love
Look
that.
how
She's
pretty
got
it
good
is.
lighting, it looks like,
She
too.
does. You know, you and I have our sewing space in the basement. So.
Yes.
All right, last we have Vicky's Crafts and Quilting Space. Vicky loves the U-shaped counter for her sewing machines
Oh.
and the cutting table and the storage cubes her husband assembled for her. There are cubes on both sides and one end. Okay,
Wow.
that U space
U shape.
is so smart.
Does she sit in the middle?
Yep, on a little swivel chair,
Yep.
and you can go left and right and left and right. I
Yep.
love that. We
All
need
together
that.
in
Yeah.
unison.
There we go. Jazz hands, why we do it.
There are cubes on both ends. I love that.
That's great.
Well, there's are some great sewing rooms and some great spaces and some really great tips.
Oh, they're beautiful. Now, quilters, if you're looking for the optimal organization and efficiency in your sewing room, you'll want the Go Quilt Block Center Cutting Cabinet.
Oh, yes.
All right. Now, it's specifically built for AccuQuilt owners, and it's on sale today for 20% off. So let's take a closer look.
Yes.
So, Erica, it comes in 2 colors. This is the
Right.
walnut. You'll show us the white.
Yes.
And it was built, quilters, for our Go Big right here. The shelf is built in there. So as the
Yes.
die comes through, here, let's put one through.
Okay.
Our Go Big die, it's going to just slide right onto
I
the
love
table.
that.
Isn't that pretty?
And those sides will go up or down.
Yes, you can have them both directions.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And then this is the back side of our cutting
Okay.
table. So you can see how we have all of our dies stacked here. And they're
Perfect.
stacked the right way. And Erica's tip of taking your little Sharpie and writing the description on the top is a great idea.
Yes.
And I love that there are segments between it.
Yes. Keeps it really nice and neat.
Now the shelves are all removable and you can adjust them. So this shelf is going to hold our cutting mats, which you want to lay flat.
Yes.
And our rulers. And then underneath, we have our English paper piecing cube and our Cute Go Meat. It's on casters, so you could move it wherever you wanted to. You could keep this arm up or lower it depending on your space. So let's show them the front of the white one.
So this is the white one. This is the other side. We're going to start at the top. Now we've got both of the wing panels up, but we could put one or both down depending on what we're doing. One thing I love about this is this drawer. Look how nice this is. We've got our little rotary cutter, whatever notions you've got. It would be super easy to keep them right here where you can keep track of them.
Yes.
So we've noticed I lose things.
Stuff.
Yep. And then we've got our shelves. Just like on the other side, they're going to be adjustable, so you can keep your cubes all organized. And we've got them kind of in size order, and that's how I keep mine at home, too.
I do as well.
So I always know I start with my 6, 8, 9, 10, and 12 down at the bottom. We've got those a little higher so we can fit those. And again, just like Pam said, we've got casters underneath so we can move it around wherever we need to.
It's just so manageable. They're beautiful.
Yes.
Now, we actually use these tables here in our Dream Studio. You can learn more and order your own at the AccuQuilt website right now for 20% off.
Great deal.
Now, additional freight charges do apply,
Yes.
okay? But check out our website for the details, because this is, if you want to go big, this is the table you want.
This is the ultimate. Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. All right. So let's see the results of the poll. We want to know what area of your sewing room needs the most organization.
Okay, let's see what it is. A little drum roll.
Wait.
They're
still calculating. They're still calculating. Fabric.
Fabric stash.
Fabric stash.
We knew.
Yeah.
We knew.
Like I said, my dies are a little out of control right now because of, doing
the
a few too many things over the holidays, but I think overwhelmingly fabric is the key.
It is. It is. And I think I love the idea of sorting it by color. That's kind of how I keep it as well. So that's
and
amazing.
If you had those little bolts, I think the wire rack would even work for that, to keep those bolts in there.
That's a great idea. She
you
got
need
us
one of those.
covered. All right, quilters, we're getting exciting updates on our winter stock up sale. We're so excited that you love our deal. It's really a great one. So until midnight tonight, Central Time, it's just past almost 1 o'clock.
Yep.
Or until product sells out.
Right.
For every go die, cutting mat, storage accessories, so our boxes and our racks, right?
Great deal.
Buy one, get the second 70% off. You're going to use that code BOGO70 and get free shipping to those of you in the contiguous U.S.
Yes.
If you order now before we run out, okay, because your sewing room, think of how much easier it is to quilt in your room when it's organized.
Absolutely.
Right? If it's a mess, you just get overwhelmed.
I can't even be creative then at that point.
No, I agree.
So, all right, we talked a lot about organization tips today.
We did.
Now, if you need more guidance, take a minute to visit our blog. Did you know we have a blog?
We have a blog.
It's great. So we cover a ton of organization tips and tricks there. In fact, we'll be covering organization all month long.
Oh, that's
great. So be sure you go on and you can subscribe so that you're not going to miss anything, and you'll be notified when a new blog goes live.
They do. That you just get a little message. It's wonderful.
It's great.
All right. So nothing like ending on a positive note, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, it's January. We've just started our live stream events. All right, so keep watch, and we're always full of surprises. Now, we're going to be back here to offer inspiration, tips, giveaways, new releases.
Absolutely. And quilters, we've got big plans.
We do.
So join us right back here next Tuesday, that's January 12th, at 12 noon Central Time. It's our first annual AccuQuilt Award Ceremony.
It is. I'm so excited for this.
We're getting dressed up and everything.
We're going to wear tiaras.
We're going to see who walked away with the top awards for 2020.
Oh, I'm just so excited about it. All right?
We really
now,
are.
quilters, if you liked this show, be sure to join me every Wednesday, which is, tomorrow at 12 noon Central Time on our AccuQuilt Live on our Facebook page or YouTube. I'm going to showcase the dies. So tomorrow we're making strippy baskets.
Yes.
So we're going to talk all about strip dies. I'm going to give you fun ideas for projects, and we always have some sweet deals.
Okay. So quilters, we're going to sign off right now. If you've been waiting to pick up the items that you want, those organizational things that you want, don't wait any longer. Now's the time. Now the link is here So we want to make sure you get your dies and your storage units and those wire racks before they're gone.
Yes, and don't forget our cutting tables behind us. Those are perfect for organization, especially if you have that go big.
Yes.
All right? And quilters, remember at AccuQuilt, we have a ton of ways to help you cut time.
So you can quilt more.
Goodbye.
Goodbye,
Thanks. We'll see
everybody.
you next week.